Okay, James.
All right, Eric, welcome. If you have questions for Eric, raise your hand and we'll go right into the interview. First question, Eric's from Scott Docterman.
Eric, how are you today, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I wanted to ask you about kind of do you have any overall feelings about Michigan State kind of lingering from your days in Michigan and certainly from the game you guys played 2 years ago where I think you had 10 catches.
Um, Nothing really lingering too much. Just treating them like another tough opponent, and just ready to get out there and get it back on the field, and correct some stuff. I'm just more going out there, just ready to win and get back on the winning streak. So,
All right,
yeah.
next question is from Mitch Fick.
Hey Eric, what was the key in that game? I think it was you and Cade both put up career highs. I mean, obviously the chemistry's there this year too, but do you remember of just what specifically was clicking? I know it's been 2 years, but any memory of just what was going right for you guys?
Um, I think. Uh, I don't know. I just felt like we ran a lot of like wide screens that game, and I like caught the ball like off the little fake pass block. We ran a lot of those. And coach was just calling my number, like plays that I knew that were coming to me. He was just calling my number a lot that game. And I feel like I don't know. I can't really think too much about what was going on and what they were playing against us and stuff because it's been so long ago. But it was just one of those days where I was just open all the time, and Cade was hitting me. So
Next question is from John Steppe.
Kind of a two-parter here. First of all, still no IHOP NIL deal. And then on a slightly more serious note, with having your past experience with Cade, is that just a matter of like, have you just picked up where you left off, or is there any kind of transition period when you're doing this in a different offense than you guys are doing it in before?
yeah, it's just feel like it's all like a matter of trust. Yeah, me and Cade, we played together at Michigan and everything, but it was an entirely different system and plays and stuff like that and keys and stuff. So, but I feel like it's a matter of trust, and it took a little bit for him to trust me. I feel like to throw me the ball more in games, especially after the Penn State game. I dropped the first ball on the bench, or on the not bench, but the middle slant, and I fall down on the screen, stuff like that. Like I gotta gain his trust more, and I feel like once that happens, he'll start trusting me more, and once we get out there and practice, and I start doing things the right way, he'll start trusting me more, and I feel like that's what it's really about. Is I know he wants to show love and give me the ball and stuff like that, but he also has keys and reads and people and stuff like that he has to throw to. So going off that. Oh, and to answer the IHOP, yeah, no, they haven't. No NIL. I wish, but no.
James,
Hey,
you're
Eric.
muted.
Am I supposed to call somebody or something?
Hi, Eric, hope you're doing well. How do you just reflect on what you've done the first 4 games of the season? What do you feel like you've done well? What do you kind of want to continue improving on?
I feel like there's always things to improve on, and there's always going to be things that you're better at doing than other stuff. Like for me, I feel like I'm naturally better at getting open and running routes, and also just physical contact. But like I would love to get better at you know just knowing the offense like better conceptually. like just the concepts and what we're trying to accomplish on each play. Also, ball security. I had a huge fumble in the last game that I try not to dwell on, but it's just I got to focus more on keeping two hands on the ball, and especially when I'm going down to the ground in those like awkward positions. But that and running crisper routes and but and blocking and stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff you could get better on, and that what coaches are looking for. I would love to, that's the stuff they're looking for: ball security, trusting you to take the ball back to the huddle, and blocking and just doing everything the right way.
Hey, Eric, I'm going to ask you to think back a couple of years again. We heard so much about Cade talking to the team after the loss Saturday. I saw a video from the locker room at Rutgers in 2020 after he comes in and leads that comeback, and another kind of similar situation where everyone's around him and he's speaking. And I think you're in the background of it. Do you remember that speech? Was that a moment where you and collectively that team were like, okay, that's our leader, not just for this season, but going into 21? Do you remember that moment at all?
Yeah, I remember because it was like the first time he did it, and guys were like kind of in shock that he did it, but it kind of the stuff that he was saying what we could get behind. He was just saying, if I remember right, he was just pretty much saying that let's go win out, let's go, don't count ourselves out, because we were having a terrible season that year to start out with. We weren't doing too good. At least I don't remember. I forget what game that was with Rutgers, but he was just telling us, to get out there and win out. And that was after a big win. But the speech after the Penn State game was after a loss. And, he was pretty much just telling us, let's remember this feeling, and to not, ever have to go through it again, and to do what it takes. We know we had a pretty bad game out there this past Saturday, and we know we could have played a lot better, and we could have done a lot more things right that had nothing to do with play calling or anything else. It had everything to do with executing, and we didn't do that, and we know we can do that, and we know we're gonna fix it and hone in on those little details week in and week out for here on out. And that's pretty much what Cade was like emphasizing. And we can't wait to get out there and do better and win, compete. Looking forward to it. Get this.
Right, two more questions, Eric. First question's from Scott Docterman.
Eric, I wanted to ask you about kind of maybe the way your position has changed a little bit since Luke's injury. I mean, he was primarily the Y, and you were moving a lot. You were a Y at sometimes. You were F. You were at a lot of different positions. Are you now more so the Y in most situations, or are you still kind of filling that role where you're kind of the move tight end and just depending on different formation and grouping?
Yeah. To answer that question, I really don't know, to be honest, because coach just tells me to go in and at a position, and I just try to do my best. But like now that Luke's unfortunately not playing, I think they're gonna have me more doing stuff that Luke was doing at the Y position a lot more than I was. But it's great that I love being able to line up at fullback and at F out in the slot, or in line at Y. But I don't know, I guess it has to do with like game plan and stuff like that. I just go in when coach tells me to, and try to execute to my best ability.
All right, last question, Eric, is from Colin Vatsmeyer.
Hi, Eric. I'm just curious what the general mindset kind of is for both you and the offense going into Michigan State this weekend.
Just to go 1-0 with this week, win and attack each game individually, not think too far ahead, and just focus on what Michigan State is bringing to the table. And we're going to do that with every week we go on, or every week we have here on out. Just coming up, we're going to just focus on them, beating them, and what it takes to do that, and trust our coaches and trust them to lead us to victory.
All right, perfect. Appreciate your time this morning, Eric.
Yep. Thank you guys so much.